How's it going, YouTube? Dylan here with a new drawing tutorial. In this video, I'm going to be showing you all how to draw Nick Wilde from the Disney animated movie Zootopia, especially when there's a sequel coming out. So grab a nice chair, get a piece of paper, get a good pencil, like this video, hit that subscribe button, and let's get started. So the first thing we want, we're going to draw this kind of almost like a gumdrop shape or a really stretched out square shape. And it's going to be slanted to the side a little. And I'm drawing very loose and lightly, so that way when I make mistakes, they can be removed real easily. And then I'm going to put it's actually going to be more of a triangle shape that goes like this. This will be the lower end of his face. And then right here, we're going to draw a line across for where his eyes will be. And then a line right down the middle for where the middle of his face will be. And then I'm going to draw these other gumdrop shapes here. These will just be a guide for his ears. And then you're going to have another one right here. If you remember, he's a fox. Okay, and then we are going to draw his nose first. I know we usually go for the eyes first sometimes, but this one we should go for the nose first. And this nose is almost going to be like a bean shape. Then you're going to draw this little curve here. That's going to be the front of the nose. Then you can put a line right down the middle that's curved because he's turned. And then you're going to draw these little U shapes for the nostrils of his nose. And except this one will be curved right here. Then you can shade those in black. And then we're going to draw this little curve here. This will be the bridge of his nose. It's about right there. See that? Okay. So we got that. Now we are going to throw in his eyes. His eyes are almost maybe egg shapes or teardrop shapes. So you got one here, and then you got one here, except this one's going to be a little bit wider. And then right here, we're going to give him a little bit of a sneaky look, which means that his eyelids are going to be a little low, like that. And then I'm going to darken this upper eyelid here, maybe darken the line like that. Darken this edge here. And maybe if you want, you can draw another line here for the side of the bridge of his nose. And now we need to draw the details of his eyes, starting with the irises. And we're going to have them on the left. This one's going to be on the left, and this one's going to be right in the middle so that he's like looking at us. Then you're going to put another circle inside for the pupil of his eye. And then you're going to put a little circle on the inside for the highlights. Then you can color those in black. So you got that. Now we're going to throw in his eyebrows. So let's draw this one up here. It's going to be thick and curved like this. And then if you want, you can curve that all the way over here. Shade that in dark. And then you're going to do a similar thing on the other side, right here. Except it will be pointed. So you'll draw that eyebrow, and then you can shade that in. All right, so we got his eyebrows in. Maybe before we get to everything else, we should probably define the top of his head like this. Okay, now let's draw his mouth area, before we get to the rest of his head. So this is going to be like a fairly light line. Don't darken it in too much. Darken in this side here. Curve it all the way down like that. Then we're going to draw his mouth starting from right here. And Nick's going to be smiling. We're going to make him happy. So we'll draw this thick, dark line that curves all the way down like this. And then there's a line that connects here with a nice cheek corner, just like that. And then he's got these little dots. They're kind of represent whiskers right there. So we got all that. Now we are going to draw a line in the middle and then connect a lower lip that goes here. And then we are then going to draw these two zigzag lines to indicate like fur. If you want, you can also draw a light line here. That's the color separation on his fur. And now we need to define the rest of his head. And then we can connect that all the way down. We can draw this curved line for the back of his neck. Put in these little furs here. Okay, and then we're almost done. We need to draw his ears. And then you can do the same thing on this side, except connect that all the way there. So you got that. Now we need to draw the inside of this ear. You don't draw anything on the inside of this ear because that's the top and he's turned over. So you only draw the inside of the ear right here from a thin space, then leave a little bit of thickness here. And this is what right here is where it gets extra thick. Just like that. So we got that. Now we are going to throw in this little zigzag here to indicate like the bottom of the ear. And then if you'd like, you can draw these little fur lines that go like this. And then put more here. And then as a finishing touch, you could maybe put some shading on the top of his ear. Because if you look at the movie, there are some dark spots on his fur. Do the same thing with over here. And maybe you could put some lighter shading on his eyelids. And on his nose. Put some on the side of his neck. Put one more neckline there. Some shading here. And there you go. That is Nicholas Wilde. Write your name on it and hang it on your refrigerator. Thank you for watching. I hope you had fun learning how to do this, and I'll see you next time.